Throwing now, Rosen on first down. Incomplete. This is Albert Wilson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
3-19! Detroit! Detroit!
Now Rosen to throw on second down. He goes underneath the Drake. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, it should open up his running game, too.
Leopard! Leopard!
They go play action here on first down. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. 11 more on that one and another first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And how about the dime look here? 6 DBs on 3rd and inches.
Daring them to run the ball.
Now the rookie from Arizona State, it's Kalen Balazs. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on. And he is in! Touchdown, Miami! Kalen Balazs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now Amendola. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 24. From the gun, here's Stafford. And his first pass is incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Second and 10, Stafford again. Buying time to his left. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Throwing on third down, Stafford to the right and complete to Galladay. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. The pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now a play fake here on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Here's Stafford now on second down. He's going to look deep down the field. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
40 got. Set. Lady. Zebra. 10.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Flushed out right. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Jones. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth. Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field.
Hey, 22! 22! Ready!
They are going to go for it. It's Stafford. Man open, that's Robert Foster complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward.
Tag 50, tag 50!
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Oh, here!
To throw on second down is Stafford. Eluding the pressure right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Cordray Tankersley with a pick.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open?
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
To throw is Rosen. Flush to his right. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line.
No. Check. Patriot.
Play action here with Rosen. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. And now it's Rosen looking. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A gain of 32 that time.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Now Drake. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
That is caught at the 7. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So now from half the distance closer, here's first and goal. A pitch out to Drake. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And This will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
22! 0!
To throw on 3rd down. Stafford. And he comes back with one complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down.
0! Hey, tag 50 left.
Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Lady!
A shotgun snap for Stafford. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Hey, 22!
Stafford on 3rd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Detroit! Detroit! Here we go now. 3-19.
After the interception, here's Rosen. And here he's got Grant. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. He dumps it off to Dre. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake, he scored on the ground and through the air. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Lions. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Hurry! Everyone's got 4 down. Ready?
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He goes underneath for Anderson. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll make it second down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does. And we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
10. Give me radar.
From the gun on third down, Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more.
11. Hey, 22.
So they will go for it. Stafford. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On first down, it's Rosen. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Gun!
From the gun, it's Rosen. Steps away to his left. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Rosen on 1st and 10. And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, as the first half is winding down, and the Dolphins add on to their lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here come the Lions now. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
On your 10. Hey, tag 53.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So the two teams. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Slide, and he's going to go down again.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
No, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it here. It's caught. Jones. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards.
That was 4th and a mile. Almost 4th, and why are you doing this? I mean, they got it done, though. Went up and got it. What a big-time pickup.
I was just going to say that. It's a receiver. You got to have that go-get-it attitude. He had it there. On first down, Stafford here. Escaping the pressure, and he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford under pressure again, and down he goes again. Charles Harris, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
11-11. 10-60.
From the gun, here's Stafford. He's going to air one out. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Cordray Tankersley with a pick. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the...
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And the pressure gets to him again.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Rosen being chased out left. And to the left side here, Wilson. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11. It's a big play here for the Dolphins on 3rd. 46 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Flushed out right. And he slings one that's incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Something of a rare incompletion. Remember, Charles, last week under 50% throwing the football. That's what he was, but he has turned that around in this game.
Last week was commonly known as a fluke. For him to be...
And Stills has got it. Touchdown, Miami. The rookie Josh Rosen with 3 touchdown passes. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. And this one through the uprights and good. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, this has just been obviously a dreadful day for him throwing the football. Now 4 interceptions. This one leads to 6 points going the other direction. Tough.
Yeah, it is. And this feels old school to me because you never really took out your starting quarterback back in the good old days. No matter what was going on, he was your guy, and you rode him for better or for worse. In today's football, usually we've got a backup who's warmed up and is coming to the game. So you can see an old school approach here that's not really benefiting them at this point.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. Let's see if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Play action. Stafford steps away. Now he'll let it go deep down. He's got a man. Complete. They give him a gain of 38. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Hey.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Robert Foster with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Lions gain a bit of respectability. Prater for the extra point. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Leopard! Watch him now, Barney!
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Lions will take over. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Ready! Hey, 22!
Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Rosen off the play action. Going deep here for Still. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. He got 29 yards that time. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. Parker the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Now Rosen looking at a 3rd and 2, eluding the pressure right. And it's caught. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. 4 touchdown passes now for the rookie Josh Rosen. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play there for Detroit. 46 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Zebra! Double right! 22! 21! Ready! Play it.
Throwing again. Stafford. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. William Hayes in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
We got 3. We got. They go here. They go here. Move, move, move. Double right.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Going for the deep ball. And this is going to be intercepted. Cordray Tankersley with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. Play action here with Rosen. Flush to his right. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st down, Drake. And a short gain down to about the 33. Tackle made there by Jonathan Cyprien.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And Rosen's actually going to throw it here. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
It's a gain of 5. So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Now a handoff for Drake. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Danny Amendola on the return. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here, and that was the message to the team.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Raekwon McMillan coming with pressure. He drops him on the blitz for a loss of 12.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To throw on second down is Stafford. He's going to let it fly. It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 37. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
22. Hey, 22. Ready. Hey, 22. Zebra. Zebra.
Stafford on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 21. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach, because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did.